Hi, welcome to Module 2. Are you ready to set your business on fire? So let's talk about the FIRE formula. I just love this acronym because it really encapsulates everything that is involved in setting your business on fire. So this is an acronym: focus, inspiration, relationships, and execution. So let's talk about each one of these. I love this image of this lynx, I believe it's a lynx, looking at a dragonfly. You'll notice this in all predatory mammals, that they stare. They stare at the objective. They stare at what their intention is, and then they wait for the right opportunity. They are focusing when they do that. And first of all, before anything else, you need to be able to focus your attention into what you're doing so that you can accomplish it. Now, as you focus, you will become aware, especially if we do some work together, of repetitive, unconscious thoughts and words, things that come up for you that are non-optimal, things that have gotten in your way in the past. Remember, this is the inner game, and this is where mastery occurs. Once you get this path clear, the outside, the doingness of actual business becomes very, very easy. There's an interesting phenomenon, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, about the brain. The brain, or your subconscious mind, actually doesn't know what's real. It's a construct. Think about the movie The Matrix. You actually are creating your reality. So when you say something to yourself enough, you create a reality in your subconscious mind. So what are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? Start paying attention. Start watching what you're saying to yourself. And it's really valuable if you do it this way. Say you get upset, or you get in an argument or something like that. You call a coach, and you'll start to see and hear these exact same kind of like rat race, broken record kinds of words that come out of you. Those are the things to pay attention to, because you can shift those. You can train your brain to think differently, and that requires focus. Another important concept is that pain pushes until passion pulls you. So, by nature, you have something called a hammer. Let's call it, you can call it conscience, you can call it guilt, you can call it a lot of things. But if you've set up to create something, you set a goal, and then you procrastinate, what happens? You hear this little voice, don't you? So I call that the hammer. And that hammer will hammer you, and the hammer will get louder and louder and louder the longer you put something off, the longer you wait. So many people do this. Now, in many cases, if they ignore this hammer long enough, they will get to the scary monster. The scary monster is something that is the result of you avoiding doing what you want or need to do in order to be successful. So it could be no sales. It could be running out of credit. It could be running out of time and having to get a job. Okay, all of those things are pain. So the fear of pain, or waiting for the pain to push you, will motivate you, right? A lot of people wait till the last minute, or they wait till it hurts before they do something. However, you can create a scenario in your own consciousness where you set up pleasure and passion. Remember the foundation? The vision I was talking about? Okay, when you regularly envision, invest your energy in that vision, that creates a sense of passion and pleasure, and moving toward that will actually empower you a lot more. It's a lot less stress, a lot less anxiety, not as hard on your body. You'll probably sleep better too. So I always encourage people to pursue the passion rather than wait for the pain to hurt you. Another thing that happens is people will focus on the obstacles. So you set a goal for yourself. You're going to set up, let's say you're going to do a conference. You're going to show up, you're a vendor or whatever, okay? Then all of a sudden, something happens. You get a flat tire, or it's rained out, or any number of things. Where does your attention go? It goes to the obstacle. What you need to do is focus. Focus on the outcome. Now that obstacle is right in front of you, but you can train your mind to see the outcome inside of this obstacle. It's just an obstacle. It's just like walking over a log that happens to be in the road, rather than making that log a giant sequoia tree, right? So focus on the outcome. Are you this kind of person? Do you kind of meander around and you try something for a bit and I don't know if it works, and then you get an email from a guru and you go, oh, I want to buy that. Ooh, I want to be in that program. Ooh, maybe this company's better than my company. They might have better products or better management or whatever it is, right? So what we do is we meander around following shiny objects. This is not the way to do it, guys. Okay, so if there's something that's happening and you're starting to meander, we talked earlier about getting bored, really take inventory. The truth about any kind of marketing endeavor is it takes time. So rather than following a bunch of shiny objects, decide, be strategic, do your plan, and follow the plan. At least 3 to 6 months before you start to shift. So that was focus. Now let's look at inspiration. Inspiration is the fire, right? You can call it motivation, inspiration, ignition, whatever turns you on, what excites you. This is the inspiration piece. This is what's going to keep you going. It's kind of aligned with the vision thing I was talking about. So let's look at inspiration and how it can impact your business. Here's this definition of inspiration. The process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something especially creative. Now, doesn't that sound to you like a fun thing? What if you could start making your business fun like that? If you can create a scenario in your own consciousness where you are feeling inspired, you will be more likely to not follow shiny objects, to not get bored, to not give up, to not be afraid, to avoid all of those things, the pain, and move forward into your passion. The first way to do this is with empowering questions. I got this from Tony Robbins. I didn't invent it, but it's really great. See, the brain will answer any questions, the subconscious, if you will. Okay, so if you say, why do I feel crummy? It's going to go find an answer. It may not be the real answer. Do you get that? It may not be the real answer. So rather than focusing your brain on why don't I feel good? Why isn't this working? What could I do? Why doesn't anybody love me? Wah, 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 wah. Look at these questions. Look at these questions. Ask yourself these kinds of empowering questions every day. What am I most happy about? Who do I love? What am I looking forward to right now? What inspires me right now? What excites me right now? And your brain will find answers. That way you can stay motivated because you're actually conditioning your brain to anticipate the joy. Similar to that is to notice what's working. Like all of these others, right? It's, okay, I can look at what isn't working. Oh, that isn't working. That isn't working. And tell all my friends, oh, that isn't working, right? Or you can decide, I'm going to focus on what is working. I'm going to talk about what is working. What you start to talk about with your friends, with your family, with your own brain, when you start talking about, oh, notice that worked really well. What'll happen is you're going to shift your orientation and your attitude so that you can be more empowered. This is how powerful people succeed, by controlling their attitude. So pay attention to what's working. Something else that a lot of people don't do, but I think is really important, is to give yourself rewards along the way. So it isn't like, oh, if I go do this thing, like fill in these contact manager, I'll go give myself a cookie. It's, wow, look at that. I did the contact manager. I'm so proud of myself. That's all it takes. It's rewards. It's recognizing you the way you would have wanted a parent to do it when you were a little kid. Remember getting those gold stars when you were in elementary school and how cool that was? How proud of yourself you were? This is what you need to do in order to stay motivated. Have you ever heard about the power pose? I love this. Okay, see this girl here. She's got her hands on her hips, actually her fists on her hips. Now, there is a physiological phenomenon that happens when you put your hands, stand up straight, feet a little bit apart, put your hands or fists on your hips, and stand there for 2 minutes with your head up, proud. What'll happen is the chemicals in your brain will orient you toward a more powerful point of view and orientation, a sense of self-confidence. It's magic, but it works. So do that, especially if you're about to jump in to do something kind of intimidating. Works awesome. Now, the thing about this is, we want this to just happen, right? I just want it to hit me. I want to be inspired. Like something's going to happen and you're just going to get boom. Oh, I'm inspired now. Well, guess what? You can actually create your own inspiration by developing self-discipline. Self-discipline is the thing that's going to shift your entire framework, your mental framework, so that you can be successful in your business no matter what comes up. So, self-discipline requires effort. And if you need support and help with this, coaching is the way to go. Give me a call. We can do a coaching session. This next area is called relationships. It's important to have relationships. We are not working as solopreneurs, as islands. Now, the first thing to recognize is that success leaves clues. Have you noticed that? So, follow the leader. Find people that have already done what you want to do. Find them and follow them. Emulate them is the word. And that way you get more of a chance to be doing the things that are going to work and avoiding a lot of the pitfalls and mistakes. So that's one relationship that's really important, getting mentors. Then a support system. Isn't it cool when you have a group of people around you that are cheering for you, that are making you feel good about what you're doing, because what you're doing is in alignment with your truth. It's in alignment with your purpose. It's in alignment with your vision. So having these people around you will actually bolster you up and give you that sense of power and confidence that a lot of times you won't have on your own. Having other people around you that will support you is very important. Actually, we're social beings, we're social animals. Find people that can support you. Look for people that are positive, uplifting, like their lives, have good relationships. If you don't have those people in your circle right now, find them, seek them out. Sometimes churches, sometimes meetups, other like social kinds of groups. Connect with people that have good emotional stability and an ability to create joy in their lives. Be with them. It rubs off. Now, I've talked quite a bit about coaching so far in this program, and it's one of the things that's valuable about having a coach is that you can get out of your own head. So let's say you're thinking you're like this, right? I usually draw a square. So this is the thing. This is me right now. I'm in this square. Well, what a coach will do is draw a circle around that square so that you can start to see outside of the situation that you're in, outside of the condition that you're in, approach it from a more objective and empowered stance. And that way you will be able to move forward when you get stuck. And if you don't know what to do, having a coach will really help with that, because a coach can ask the questions that'll pull out those things that are important to you, those things that can help you move forward in your business. Okay, finally we're at execution. Execution sounds so final. It is, because it's the final step. It's the thing that you do. And the next two modules will all be about the doingness. So notice this person's diving off a diving board. What's going to happen after you jump off a diving board? You're going in the water, babe. So let's get geared up, do all of the parts of the FIRE formula, move forward, jump off the diving board, and get this business going. When I first saw the Star Wars series, I was just so excited. It was so spiritual and cool and exciting. And then there was Yoda. And when Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try, it just, whoa, that is so cool. And so I've always followed that because it's simple. If you just decide and then take a step. If you need help, have somebody help you. You can get a supporter to move you into action. There's this guy, his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. Really brilliant dude. And what he does is something called creating his day. So he starts out every morning, and I would imagine he has a calendar so he kind of knows what's going to be in his day, and sits down and visualizes every single aspect of that day as a successful outcome. He sees himself winning. He sees himself being joyful. He sees himself experience peace. He sees himself overcoming any kind of a conflict or challenge that might arise. This is so important. If you can start your day, I like meditation myself. You can do it a number of ways, but this is so important to create your day. So try that one. Now, I think I've talked about this quite a bit, but here's one more slide to remind you that you can deliberately tune your awareness. You can shift what you're thinking. You can change your story about stuff. You can become empowered. If anybody has ever been successful, you can be successful because the path is there. Just tune your awareness.